Top dressing, the bit that people miss out, it's another expense for the product, yes, but this is the final stage of like hard work and labour, the last bit you're going to do on lawn reno day, and it is essential. So why are we going to top dress? It provides a nice seed bed and it improves that seed soil contact, which is key. It's going to add organic matter to your lawn with good amount of nutrition in it, and it will also help level out your lawn. Now, level out your lawn or smooth out lumps and bumps, two slightly different things. Even if your lawn is nice and level, when you run the mower over, you'll feel a little bit of vibration. That's all these little bumps in. It will just fill in those gaps very nicely. And it will also improve drainage. I know somebody mentioned earlier about having a really boggy lawn, I think.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess.
mentioned it. He said, my garden gets waterlogged during the winter, but it's quite dry in the summer. I was thinking of the top dressing with a 70-30 sand topsoil mix. Is this a good idea to do?
So it's the problem you come up with wet in the winter, dry in the summer is everyone, loads of people have that issue. So if you've got a heavy clay soil, which it sounds like, because it sounds like what's happening is it's not draining in the winter, but it's drying out and cracking almost in the summer. So a heavy clay soil. So I would be going 70-30 is a brilliant go-to option for top dressing. What you need to be putting down is the seaweed. So the seaweed will go down into those holes at lawn renovation time, put it down the same time as you fertilize, and that seaweed will help aerate that clay soil. It'll help it drain, but also retain moisture in the summer. Another way to retain moisture on that lawn in the summer is with one of the wetting agents. The Satagran wetting agent we have, it's wrapped in a polymer coating, so it allows the water to penetrate the surface, but also holds water in the zeolite carrier itself. So it's very much about your treatment plan. If you are aerating, I'll definitely go for that 70-30 mix you're thinking about. That is a really good option. For those of you who have a perpetually wet and boggy lawn, heavy clay soil, then you could go with a full sand mix, so no organic matter whatsoever. That will allow the water to pass down, certainly off the top few inches of that soil surface. Which top dressing? So generally with top dressings, you've got a choice to make. At one end of the spectrum over here, you have products that are brilliant for leveling lawns that are bumpy and lumpy and have dips and hollows, but they're really, really, really bad at holding any kind of nutrition. Think about your golf green. Lovely, smooth, the ball rolls over it brilliantly, but because it's sand-based, they're treating it all the time, usually with foliar liquid mixes as well. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, you've got products which are really terrible at leveling, like compost. Just disappears, disintegrates, and it's gone, but actually has loads of organic matter, so holds nutrients really well. So that's where you have to decide which product you're using. Sand on the left-hand side, brilliant for leveling out. So yeah, brilliant for leveling out. It is cheaper than the other products, but it doesn't hold the nutrients, but it will improve your drainage. In the middle there, like we just spoke about, that sand soil mix, it's a 70-30 or an 80-20 generally. That means 70% sand, 30% soil, organic matter. That is the go-to. If you're not sure, that's the one you want to use. It's the one I use all the time as well. And then on the right hand side, if you've got a lovely flat lawn, you can just use compost. It's terrible for leveling, but it does add loads of nutrition to the lawn. It will kind of just disappear and go, but it is super light and easy to spread. Like a really, really good option if you do have a nice level lawn.
Downside to compost, though, you can get all of the
how to top dress, if you've got some big dips and hollows to address. Yes, you do. Compost comes with all the twigs and yeah. So the compost, you're right, Dan. It comes with all the kind of twigs and all those bits in it. I'm going to show you a tool in a minute that you can use to that. So do all the leveling first. So don't seed and you do your aerating and scarifying, but don't seed if you're then going to put 4 inches of topsoil into a hollow, because the seed only needs to be 2 to 3 mil down. Okay, so get your levels done. So you'd scarify, aerate, then get your levels sorted, then seed, fertilize, and put a final top dress on. Cast evenly over the entire lawn area, either with a spreader's good, or just make piles with a wheelbarrow and then cast it out with a shovel, which I'll show you in a second. Use a drag brush, drag mat or lawn loop to level that soil out and just to drag it into the holes. And then you want to go for roughly a 5mm coverage. A really good kind of maths, simple maths here is 2 kilos per square meter is a light dressing. 4 kilos is where I tend to sit for just a good medium dressing, or a really heavy dressing is 6 kilos per square meter. That could help you calculate. You can buy it in 25 kilo bags, which helps you just move it around the lawn, or you can buy it for a little bit cheaper per unit on a 750 kilo ton bag.
So ultimately the job here is to ferry it from the drive of the front in the wheelbarrow. I'm just going to make loads of piles all over, just big barrow piles, probably 30 or 40 piles. And eventually when I've got them all and they're all in, it's just a simple matter of grabbing it and sending it across the lawn. After that we'll loop it up.
So is that question just coming about doing it over a period of time, Dan?
So it was initially, it was like, we're wanting to level, is there any depth that you need to go? And then basically, can you add it over the course of a month, he says. So I guess that means adding a little bit at a time on top of the established grass, so it can build it up.
Yeah, so if you use something like sand soil, like a root zone, and you go too deep, it will naturally sink again over time. So you only really want to go kind of, what you do is put like 2 or 3 centimeters in, heel it down, foot it in to compact it a bit, and then put a bit more in, a bit more. If you're going to do it over a period of time to level your lawn, yes, but immediately after renovation, while the new seed is just germinating, wait until your lawn is fully established, then you can start to add your soil over time. That is generally a good way to do it, yeah. Tools for top spreading. This is that Dan said about getting all those little twigs and bits in the compost. These green cages are brilliant. You can open the cage, put your compost in it, and then you just walk it, and as it rotates, it puts a lovely even amount of compost in, but keeps all the twigs and lumps in the barrel. So then you can just empty out at the end. That is really, really good option if you're spreading compost. Doesn't work with the others, it just falls straight out. Drop spreader, absolutely fine. And again, you got a local bowls club or cricket club that do end of season renovations. You may be lucky enough to find they've got something like this Barrowman. That's about 1,500 quid's worth to buy, but you can get probably 20 kilos in each time, and it comes out on this conveyor belt and just drops it straight down. Beautiful piece of kit. Bit of overkill unless you've got a massive lawn or you're putting an awful lot of topsoil down. But again, find your cricket club and ask them if you can borrow it for 30 quid. I'm sure there's always happy to get money into the coffers.
Hi John, thanks for the question, mate. It's a good one as well. A lot of people have asked it. This rake looking thing is actually called a lute, L-U-T-E that is. It's got a really long handle, kind of kinked at the end. Benefit of that is I can get a really shallow angle, so when I'm pushing on it, it doesn't actually take an awful lot of effort to push it and glide it across the land, across the turf. If it was steep, obviously you'd be pushing more down, so it has a really long handle. And then you've got this box section of metal down here, and the whole purpose of this is that it helps you level the turf out. So you can see on top you've got these box sections where the topsoil or sand will sit in between. You'll push it back and forth and it will level it out. This one's about 36 centimetres wide. You can get them much bigger than this, but these will set you back around about £100. One of those tools I would highly recommend putting in your garage for patch repair and general garden levelling. Thanks for the question.
So Lee, sorry, I just saw your addition to that question and you were talking about the top dressing specifically over a period of time. No, you want to do that as soon as you've got to the end of this lawn renovation. If you do it a few days later, you're walking on newly sprouted, newly shooted grass with very weak roots at this time, and then you're walking over it casting and then leveling and dragging in. You're then just going to pull some of those grass roots up. What's more, by putting the topsoil on, that's our key to improving the kind of seed soil contact. So you'll get better germination rate, because you've put it down at that time, and you want to kind of fill those holes that we saw in that diagram early on. So if you've got the energy, day after, absolutely fine if you want to spread this over a couple of days, but as soon after as possible.